Well, did you know that everyone has a subconscious attitude towards money? And did you also know that the major cause of serious problems married couples face is not sex, it's not who did or didn't do the chores or who forgot whose birthday, it's money. How they earn it, how they spend it, and whether they save it. Now, I'm married, and so I can relate to all of that. And our next guest, CFP and book author Julie Murphy Casserly, shows people how to make the money flow in her new book. It's titled The Emotion Behind Money, Building Wealth from the Inside Out. Welcome, Julie.
Thanks, Danielle.
Why did you decide to write the book?
Well, I am one of 12 children, so there was all kinds of emotions and money going around when I was growing up. And I realized in my career as a CFP that there's a huge disconnect between the financial services marketplace and humanity. And it's because we have the financial numbers and the emotional numbers, and really what we need is a bridge between those two.
You talk about the risk tolerance and the debt tolerance that couples face and how this can derail relationships. Tell me why this can happen.
Certainly. Well, a lot of people don't realize that we have a lot of subconscious behavior that lies behind what we inherited from our parents and the communities that we grew up in. And then we bring those patterns into our marriage if we haven't done our own financial healing beforehand. And then all of a sudden you have combustion working at the same time. And then you add children and careers and everything to the mix and we really don't openly talk about it. So it's something that we need to bring to the surface.
How can we be sure, Julie, that this doesn't happen?
Well, we are human, so to a certain extent it is going to happen, but what we can control are our reactions to that. Our reactions are really important, to where we need to create the emotional space to be able to, when this stuff bubbles up, that we then can deal with it so that it's not something that's really, causing tension with the children and your work and everything else at the same time.
You know, one of the other things you talk about in the book is the crabs in the bucket mentality. Yes. And it's funny because you think that would happen between maybe friends or acquaintances, but not in your own family.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes we're our own worst crab because of the stories and everything that we tell ourselves. That if you've ever seen 20 crabs go in a bucket and one tries to climb out, the other ones try to pull him back in. But if you put a crab in there all by himself, they can pull out by themselves, no problem. So you have to be aware of who are you supporting yourself around. Because if they're helping you recreate the bad habits in your life that don't mirror what it is that you dream of, well, it's no surprise in where it is that you wind up then.
Talk to us a little bit about emotional healing, because can this lead to financial healing?
Well, absolutely, because if you start to deal with the emotional components that are creating the financial behaviors that you have, this country, we have so many people who are income affluent, but they're not asset affluent because of the great consumer spending that we have in our country. But the thing of it is that we have to worry about our own futures and our children, and what are we passing on from generation to generation. And we have to retain that personal power back with money as opposed to being victim to it in our lives.
Oh, that is good advice. Some final thoughts with just about a minute left here about the emotion behind money, because it is an emotional thing.
Absolutely. The emotion behind money, no matter what you do, it is always going to be there. The question is, are you conscious of it or are you not? And so once you recognize your patterns and say, you know what, I want to get past these emotional patterns, whether it's spending patterns or credit card debt patterns or whatever those patterns are that you have, once you bring them to a conscious level and then deal with the reality that you have, it's the only way that you're going to heal moving forward.
Got to deal with it. All right, if people want more information about your book, about you, where can they find that?
You can go to my website at theemotionbehindmoney.com. And you can also find it on Amazon, and come join the communities and some of the stories that can help support you in your financial healing process.
All right, sounds good. Thanks,
Excellent.
Julie.
Thank you.